Hi friends, in in continuation of yesterday's class, um, I'll be taking few more problems to cover few more things. If you look at this question number two, um, following is a summarized balance sheet of Competent Limited as on 31st March 2011. Equity shares of 10 rupees each fully paid 12 lakhs 50,000. Revenue reserve 15 lakhs. Security premium 2 lakh 50,000. P&L account 1 lakh 25,000. Secured loans 12% debentures 18 lakhs 75,000. Unsecured loans 10 lakhs. Current maturities of long term borrowing 16 lakhs 50,000. Fixed assets 46 lakhs 50,000. Current assets 3 lakhs. Now, the company wants to buy back 25,000 equity shares of 10 each on 1st April 2011 at 20 rupees per share. That means the 10 rupees share value, face value, they are going to buy at 20 rupees per share. So premium on buyback is 10 rupees. Buyback of shares is duly authorized by its articles and necessary resolution has been passed by the company towards this. The payment for buyback of shares will be made by the company out of sufficient bank balance available shown as part of current assets. See, whenever you are reading the question, the payment for buyback of shares will be made by the company out of sufficient bank balance means the company is not going for fresh issue. When company is not going for fresh issue, we have learned in the previous problems that amount to be transferred to CRR must be equal to nominal value of shares that has been bought back. That is very important point you all should remember. Is this clear? Right. Now let us see the things. I think the problem is that if you look at the here, the company wants to buy back 25,000 equity shares of 10 each, 10 each, and on 1st April 2011 at 20 rupees per share. Now, what exactly is asking? Comment with your calculations whether buyback of shares by company is within the provisions of Companies Act 2013. If yes, pass necessary journal entries towards buyback of shares and prepare the balance sheet of after buyback of shares. I think if you look at it, we need to find out the maximum number of shares because he has given that 25,000 shares they want to buy back. They have taken decision. Now they are asking comment with your calculation whether buyback of shares by companies within the provisions of Companies Act 2013. So whenever they are asking question like this, we have seen in the notes when I have explained you the introduction theory part. So determination of buyback of maximum number of shares as per Companies Act 2013 we need to find out. For this we need to follow three tests we need to find out. Three tests we need to do. One is outstanding shares test, second is reserves test, and third is equity test. I think this is what we should be looking at. Debt equity ratio test. And out of these three tests, the least of the following will be the maximum number of shares purchased. And after getting that value, we need to compare with 25,000. If it is less than 25,000, no, we can't buy 25,000 shares. If the least is more than 25,000, then company can go for purchase of 20,000, 25,000 buyback shares. I think this is a very important model. You all should pay attention how to work out this. Now, so first we need to find out determination of buyback maximum number of shares as per Companies Act 2013. Here I have worked out the problem for your understanding. There I have written the page number also 39. This is from ICS study material. For explanation purpose, I have done it. I worked out the problem. You can see determination of buyback of maximum number of shares as per Companies Act 2013. First condition, outstanding shares test. First condition is outstanding shares test. What is outstanding shares test? That is maximum number of shares that can be bought back. Outstanding shares test is maximum number of shares that can be bought back, which is 25% of outstanding shares, which is 25% of outstanding shares. Now, if you look at the problem there, what is outstanding shares? You can see the balance sheet 12,55,000. 12,55,000 by 10, the face value, then you will be getting 1,25,000 shares. So 25% of 1,25,000 is equal to 31,250 shares. So outstanding shares, I think if you look at the first condition, that has been fulfilled. Am I right? Because company wants to buy 25,000 shares. If you apply the first condition, yes, this condition has been fulfilled. Now let us look at the second test, resource test. Resource test, I think we need to see the least of the following. One condition has been already fulfilled. Resource test is about the maximum number of shares that can be bought back. Resource test is the maximum number of shares that can be bought back is equal to 25% of paid up capital plus free reserves. We have been discussing about free reserves. Free reserves are reserves which are available for declaration of dividend, including security premium for buyback shares concept. So 25% of paid up capital plus free reserves by buyback price per share. Now, if you look at this 12,50,000. 12,50,000. You have to go back to the problem. So how you will be getting paid up capital? We know that 12,50,000. This 15 lakhs, 2,50,000 and 1,25,000 is about reserves. I think that we can see here revenue reserves plus security premium. If you look at it, revenue reserve is how much? 15 lakhs you can see, and then security premium is 2,50,000. P&L account is 1,25,000. So if you see here what I have written, 25% of paid up capital. 25% of paid up capital is equal to 12,50,000, that is share capital, plus 15 lakhs is revenue reserve, security premium and P&L account balance. And what is buyback price per share? 20 rupees. So therefore, if you look at this, it is coming to total, if you go for totaling of it, 12,50,000 plus 15 lakhs plus 2,50,000 plus 1,25,000 into 25%, it is coming to 7,81,250. 7,81,250 by buyback per share 39,063. I think the 39,063 is also, if you apply the resource test also, which is more than 25. I think second test also has been, the condition has also been fulfilled. Now let us see the debt equity ratio test. Now I think here I have mentioned note, I think this I have already explained you. Free reserve for this chapter includes security premium that I have already told you. Debt equity ratio test, this is very important point. I think the third point is very important for you to pay attention. Debt equity ratio test, it says that loans debt equity ratio test is equal to loans cannot be in excess of twice the equity funds post buyback. Debt equity ratio test says loans cannot be in excess of twice the equity funds post buyback. It means loans cannot be in excess of twice the equity funds post buyback. I'll explain this with example here, looking at the problem. Now loan funds, if you see, I've written mentioned there, we are having 18,75,000 worth of debentures, 10 lakhs worth of unsecured loans, and 6,50,000 of current liabilities. It is coming to 45,25,000. This is loan funds. And then if you look at the B point, minimum equity to be maintained after buyback in the ratio of 2:1, that is A by 2. It means loans cannot be in excess of twice of the equity funds. Here if you see, loans cannot be in excess of twice the equity funds. What is equity funds here? Minimum equity to be maintained 22,62,500. It means the equity has to be half of loan funds. Simple words. Equity has to be half of loan funds. That means loan funds cannot be more than twice of equity. Okay, so 22,62,500. So this is minimum equity we have worked out. Then present equity. See, present equity by shareholders fund. Present equity means before buyback. If you look at it, is nothing but paid up capital plus free reserves. Paid up capital plus free reserves including security premium. I've already told you paid up capital we have worked out already is 18 lakh 75,000. Sorry, paid up capital 12 lakhs 50,000. And then we have also seen, just a minute, we worked out that, we have done that. What is paid up capital we got? 12 lakh 50,000 plus revenue reserve 15 lakhs, security premium 2 lakh 50,000, P&L account 1 lakh 25,000. If you add all those three, you'll be getting how much? Here, my dear friends, you're getting, just a minute, you're getting 31 lakhs 25,000. Okay. So now, so point number one, what is that you should remember for calculating debt equity ratio test? Let me explain loan funds. Loan funds including current liabilities. In some material, they are giving loan funds is not excluding current liabilities. Don't confuse yourself. So loan funds is equal to debentures plus unsecured loan, long-term secured or unsecured plus current liabilities. That is clear. Then second point, minimum equity to be maintained after buyback is half of the loan funds. Half of the loan funds is nothing but 22 lakh 62,500. Then present equity shareholder fund is nothing but, that is before buyback, is nothing but paid up capital plus free reserves including security premium is coming to 31 lakhs 25,000. Now D point, future equity. Now future equity or shareholders funds. Only one thing you should remember, the company, since the problem has been given, the company has sufficient bank balance, they are not going for fresh issue. So what happened when you look at the future equity or shareholders fund? In this problem, simple words, future equity shareholders funds is nothing but paid up capital plus free reserves, including security premium, excluding capital redemption reserve. That is important point you should remember. I repeat once again. Future equity is nothing but after buyback. After buyback, what happened? You will be creating CRR, capital redemption reserve. From where you are creating CRR? CRR can be out of revenue reserves. Am I right? So what happened then? There, if you deduct, what happened? That amount will be reduced, no? So which will be reduced? The future equity shareholders funds will be reduced from 31 lakhs 25,000. The amount to be transferred to CRR is to be ascertained. So after doing that, then we can get back the future equity. So I think to find out amount to be transferred to CRR, which is X value, we need to find out the maximum number of shares that is to be purchased. And because he said that company wants to buy 25,000 equity shares. Now after fulfilling the, looking at these three conditions, least of the value must be, if it is more than 25,000 equity shares, no problem. If it is less than 25,000, we can't. So which we cannot ascertain at this point of time. Capital redemption reserve we cannot ascertain. That is why I have written working notes. I'll be explained detailed way. So for the time being, this I got from working notes, my dear friend. This I'll explain. 2,87,500. For the time being, you try to understand this. So this 2,87,500, how we got? We have applied simultaneous equation method to find out that I'll be explaining in working notes. So future equity or shareholder fund, you can use any one. 31 lakhs 25,000 minus 2 lakh 87,500 is coming to 28 lakhs 37,500. Okay. I think you also can copy down. I think you are simultaneously, you can take a book. I think you can copy down this. I think, hope you are doing it. Then maximum permitted buyback. Maximum permitted buyback is that permitted buyback of equity is equal to D minus B. What is D here? Future equity. What is B? Minimum equity to be maintained. Repeat once again. How to get this maximum permitted buyback? Maximum permitted buyback of equity is equal to future equity minus minimum equity to be maintained. That is maximum, and you need to maintain minimum. The difference is simple, no? The maximum, this is what you can go, but minimum you should maintain as per Companies Act. The difference is maximum permitted by buyback. I think we are getting 5,75,000. Next, maximum number of shares that can be bought back, which is 5,75,000 by purchase price of buyback per share. It is coming to 28,750 shares. Now look at this. 28,750 shares is a debt equity ratio. Now, if you look at statement showing the maximum number of shares to bad back is to be bought back is list of the following. Is this clear? Shares outstanding test A, we got 31,250. Resource test 39,062. Debt equity ratio test 28,750. So if you look at this, the list of the above is 28,750. Now the question is that company wants to buy, and the problem has given 25,000 equity shares. Suppose if the 25,000 equity shares is missing, that we'll be seeing the next problem. Then we can go for the maximum number of shares that can be purchased is 28,750. But in this problem, since there's a condition has been given, the company has decided to go for 25,000 equity shares. So I think we can make a statement saying that company qualifies all tests for buyback of shares and came to conclusion that it can buy a maximum 28,750 shares on 1st April 2011. However, company wants to buy back only 25,000 equity shares. So now comment we can give. Therefore, buyback of 25,000 shares as desired by the company is within the provisions of Company Act 2013. Is this clear? I think after seeing that the Companies Act 2013, it says that company can go for purchase of these shares. Okay, my dear friends. Now I think this is clear to all of you. I repeat once again, what is first condition, my dear friends? Let me go back and see. So if you want, I'll be giving the time for you to copy down also. Let me complete my explanation. I'll be giving sufficient time for you to copy down. So condition number one, outstanding shares is clear. You revise it. Revise it. Outstanding share test is equal to maximum number of shares that can be bought back. That is 25% of outstanding shares. In the problem, share capital has been given. If you share capital divided by nominal value, you will be getting number of shares outstanding. It is nothing but paid up capital. Simple words, right? Resource test. Resource test is nothing but 25% of paid up capital plus free reserves by buyback price per share. I repeat once again, free reserves are nothing but I told you revenue reserves plus security premium. If you want, you can copy down first of all these 2 points. It is there on the screen. I'm giving for some time. Make it fast. Okay. Shall I go for the next one? Okay. Next, we can see debt equity ratio test. I will already explain. Loan funds. Loan funds is nothing but it can be secured or unsecured, long term plus short term. We got that value. This is step number A. Minimum equity to be maintained is nothing but half of loan funds. Okay, got it. Present equity or shareholders funds is equal to paid up capital plus free reserves including security premium. Repeat once again. First point number A is for debt equity ratio, debt equity ratio test. Loan funds clear. Long term liability, it can be secured or unsecured, plus current liabilities. Point number B, minimum equity to be maintained after buyback in the ratio of 2:1. Okay. Then next third one, present equity. You also can copy down simultaneously. Present equity, or it also can be called a shareholder fund, is equal to paid up capital plus free reserves including security premium. D, future equity slash or shareholders funds. This is important point. I think in the previous meetings I've seen some problems which were worked out earlier without considering CRR. I think if whoever is having those material, you will sometimes, maybe I'm not sure about the present scanner. If anybody is looking at it, if they have done it something different, don't follow. As per study material and as per standard material, they have taken the CRR, they have deducted. I think that is the important point you all should remember. Future equity by shareholder funds is 2,87,500. I will be explaining how you got it. So is nothing but present equity minus amount to be transferred to CRR is equal to 28,37,500. Okay, copy down up to this. I've already told you about how you got free reserves. Revenue reserve is security premium plus P&L account plus paid up capital. You can cross check from the problem. This I have to explain how you got this working notes. Next, maximum permitted buyback of equity is future equity minus minimum equity. It's clear. D minus B. 28 lakh 37,500 minus 22 lakh 62,500 is coming to 5 lakh 75,000. Clear? A, loan funds I have told you. B, minimum equity maintained. Half of the loan funds. Present equity, paid up capital plus free reserves. Future equity is nothing but present equity minus amount to be transferred to CRR. And then maximum permitted buyback of equity is equal to future equity minus present B minus B. Future equity minus minimum equity to be maintained. Is this clear up to this? You can copy down. Then maximum number of shares that can be bought back is 5,75,000, which we are getting it from E point by purchase price of share 20 rupees. It is coming to 28,750 shares. Okay. Next, I told you. Statement showing the maximum number of shares to be bought back is list of the following. Is list of the following is nothing but we are having three tests: share outstanding test, resource test, debt equity ratio test. Out of these three, which is the list of the following? 28,750. I told you already. This also can be copied down. Okay, this I have already explained. Company qualifies all tests for buyback of shares and came to conclusion that it can buy maximum 28,000 shares, 750 shares on 1st April. Okay, however, company wants to buy back only 25,000 equity shares at the rate of 20 rupees. Now we can say therefore buyback of 25,000 shares as decided by the company is within the provisions of Companies Act 2013. Okay, friends. Now let me go for working notes. In the question, it is stated that the company has surplus funds to dispose of. Therefore, whatever I explained, it is presumed that buyback is out of free reserves or security premium. Hence, a sum, suppose free reserves are sufficient, we no need to go for security premium. Otherwise, we have to go for security premium. Hence, a sum equal to nominal value of shares bought back of shares shall be transferred to CRR. This I have already told you. CRR is nothing but capital redemption reserve. So let me complete this explanation, then I'll give time to for you to copy down. Therefore, for calculation of future equity, that is share capital and free reserves amount transferred to CRR on buyback has to be excluded from the present equity. I told you present equity, to find out present equity, we have to deduct. We have to deduct what is that? Present equity minus CRR. Is this clear? That we have to find out. The reason is CRR is not available for distribution as dividend and CRR is not a free reserve. Why we are deducting? Because it is not a revenue reserve. CRR can be used only for issue of bonus shares. Now, amount transferred to CRR and maximum equity to be bought back will be calculated. Amount transferred to CRR and maximum equity. Present equity minus CRR is equal to maximum equity to be bought back will be calculated by simultaneous equation method that we are working out by going by simultaneous equation method. How to calculate simultaneous equation method, that I will be explaining. Is this clear? So, how to calculate simultaneous equation method here? Suppose, as I told you, the amount to be transferred to CRR is XYX because we don't know how many shares that company can purchase. And maximum permitted buyback of equity is Y. Then equation 1. Present equity minus nominal value of buyback transfer to CRR minus minimum equity to be maintained is equal to maximum permissible buyback of equity. I repeat once again, equation number 1 you can see present equity minus nominal value. Here I have given. What is present equity? 31 lakhs 25,000. I already explained there in the top of the solution. What is X? Unknown value. CRR minus minimum equity to be maintained. What is minimum equity to maintain? We got step number 2. Minimum equity to be maintained is half of the loan funds is equal to Y. What is Y? Maximum permissible buyback equity. Okay, this is equation number 1. Equation number 2. Maximum buyback by offer price for buyback into nominal value. Equation 2 says that maximum buyback by offer price for buyback into nominal value. So that is equal to X. What is X value? Equation 2. Nominal value of shares bought back transferred to CRR. Am I right? So that we are sorting out here. What is maximum buyback? Tell me. We don't know. Y value. Offer price buyback is 20 into nominal value per share is equal to 10 into 10 is equal to x value, or we can say, I think you can simplify, you can get 2x is equal to 5. This is equation number 2. Now by solving the above equation, we get x is equal to rupees 2,87,500, y is equal to 5,75,000. If anybody want how we can solve, we can see x plus y is equal to 8,62,500, equation 1. 2x minus y is equal to 0. Therefore 3x is equal to 8,62,500. Therefore x is equal to 8,62,500 by 3. You'll be getting 2,87,500. I think in the beginning I have told you, in step number E of debt equity ratio, we have deducted in D point 2,87,500 from where we got here X value. Y already that has been given 5,75,000. Is this clear? I think that also is clear to you. So by following simultaneous equation, we can find out capital redemption reserve. This working notes I've already explained. Now you can copy down this. I think you copied on up to this. Okay, you can copy down working notes. You all are copying down this, right? Okay, I think you might have copied down. But let me tell you the other alternative also. This has been worked out in your material. But let me also explain the other way to find out debt equity ratio. Only I'm changing the third step. Alternative debt equity ratio test can be done as follows. Amount of loan funds is same like the A of the previous method. Minimum equity to be maintained same. Present shareholders funds okay. Now only thing is that here D, maximum permitted dilution. I think if you look at this, maybe simple than that. We without using simultaneous equation, we can find out. I repeat once again, amount of loan funds is 45 lakhs 25,000. Minimum equity to be maintained after buyback 22 lakhs 60,500. Present shareholders funds 31 lakhs 25,000. Maximum permitted dilution is, this is the a point. Maximum permitted dilution is nothing but the difference between present shareholder and minimum equity. It is coming to 8 lakhs 60,500. Suppose, I think this, it looks very simple. Suppose number of shares bought back is X value. Reduction in share capital is 10 rupees, right? Because per share, it is reduction share capital per share is 10 rupees. No? Premium loss on buyback is 10. Transfer to CRR since no fresh issue 10. Am I right? Because we will be transferring nominal value of shares bought back is equal to amount to be transferred to CRR. Here nominal value 10, here also 10. Now we can say CRR is nominal value buyback, that is 10 rupees, right? Total reduction in equity 30 rupees. So when you are going for buyback of shares, this is maximum permitted dilution, means minimum equity to be maintained minus present shareholders funds minus minimum equity to be maintained. This already we have seen that. This is maximum permitted dilution. That means you need to maintain 22 lakh 60,500. Dilution permissible is 8 lakh 60,500. But if you see, total reduction in equity is coming to 10 rupees. Share capital is reducing per share. Premium or loss back, loss of premium or loss on buyback is 10. Transfer to CRR is 10. So coming total reduction in equity is coming to 30 rupees X. Now, value of X is equal to 8 lakh 62,500. Maximum dilution per share by 30 rupees is coming to 28,750. It looks very simple. We are getting the same value by doing simultaneous equation. So how to do it? Once again, I repeat it. Amount of loan funds, this is same, you got it. Minimum equity maintained, you know it. Present shareholder funds, you know it. Only the D point is the difference between C and B. And let us assume number of shares bought back is X. We don't know unknown value. So reduction in share capital per share is 10 rupees. Premium on loss on buyback is 10 rupees. Transfer to CRR 10. So what happened when you transfer these to CRR? Share capital 1 rupee is reducing, buyback is just reducing your free reserves, am I right? And transfer to CRR is also reducing your free reserves. Therefore, there is a reduction in equity by how much? 30 rupees. So now value of X is equal to maximum permitted dilution minus total reduction in equity per share. So that is coming to 28,750 shares. You got already 28,750 shares into 10 rupees. If you do it, you'll be getting 2,87,500. Am I right? I think this is what you can do it. If you are comfortable in doing it, or else if you are good in doing that, you can go by the simultaneous equation method. Now I think general entries you can do it. Entry: equity share buyback account at R2 bank, 25,000 equity shares into 20, it is coming to 5 lakhs. An equity share capital account at R, security premium, because you are buying 10 rupees now, 25,000 shares into 10, security premium is nothing but premium on buyback. To equity share buyback 5 lakhs, being cancellation of shares bought back. Now, next entry, revenue reserve account at R to CRR. I've already told you. Okay, I think these three entries. Revenue reserve account, security premium account, and P&L account are considered as free reserves in total. I think this we have discussed already. Balance sheet, you can do share capital is 12 lakh 50,000. You have purchased 2 lakh 50. What is remaining left? 10 lakhs. Revenue reserve 15 lakhs minus amount transfer CRR 12 lakh 50, and CRR is 2 lakh 50,000. P&L account is 1 lakh 25. This P&L account 1 lakh 25,000 is given there. Long term borrowings, unsecured loans, secured loans, unsecured. Current liabilities, current assets including bank balance. You know, current assets, sorry. This is current assets including bank balance means you used 5 lakhs for purchase of shares. So 25 lakhs is the balance. The balance sheet, I think you can do it. Shareholders funds, non-current liabilities. Just remember the total 71 lakh 50,000. Now, if you want to copy down the alternative method, you can copy down if you want. The entries, I think you can do it. But anyway, I'm giving time for you to copy down this. In this question, 28,750 shares is the least value. So maximum shares that can be purchased is 28,750. Is this clear? It's 28,750 into 10 rupees. If you go for that many number of shares, maximum the list of the following amount to be transferred to CRR is equal to 28,750 into 10 rupees. That is why we got 2,87,500. But the condition is that company has decided to go for 25,000. If 25,000 shares is 25,000 shares condition is not there, company would have gone for buying of 28,750 shares, which is the minimum one. Is this clear? So what I'm trying to do is the next problem I'm going to work out the alternative method, and I think it is that the same problem is there in the study material also. Even the problems which I'm working out is also there in the charms material. So problems which I'm going to work out here is going to cover all the models, my dear friends. Right? This is what the best we can do. I hope you are able to follow this. Right? You listen to me again and again if you got any doubts. Like if it's a normal class, we will be having. I'll be knowing you through face interaction. I think by body language I can understand, but I think I'm trying my level best to convey you. I hope you all are following this. So this the alternative method without using simultaneous equation. It is your wish with the whichever the way you want to do, you can do it. Now this method I'm going to follow for the next problem. I think journal entries, if you want, you can see, you can make a narration, you can leave if you want. You can copy down this quickly, then I can go for next problem. Since we got sufficient reserve, we are using revenue reserve. If it is not there, we can go for security premium for transfer to capital redemption reserve. Okay. I think the balance sheet you can do it. We have done number of problems, my dear friends. I hope you have completed this. Shall I go for the next problem? I think the total you can remember. The balance sheet total is coming to. You can make a note. You can work out 71 lakhs 50,000. Okay. Let me take you to. This is a one more important problem. Illustration 5. This models came number of times in the examination. Perot Limited, a non-listed company, has the following capital structure as on 31st March 2011. Equity share capital 10 rupees each, fully paid 330 crores. Reserves and surplus general reserve 240 crores. Security premium 90 crores. P&L account 90 crores. Infrastructure development reserve is not a free reserve. So therefore, we are having free reserves in this case is 240 plus 90 plus 90. Okay, loan funds 1800. The shareholders of Perot Limited, on the recommendation of their board of directors, have approved on 12th September 2011 a proposal to buy back the maximum permissible number of equity shares considering the large surplus funds available at the disposal of the company. The prevailing market value of the company shares is 25 rupees per share, and in order to induce the existing shareholders to offer their shares for buyback, it was decided to offer a price of 20% over market. The previous problem was premium was calculated on the nominal value. Now here the prevailing market value is 25. On that the offer price is 20%. So premium you are calculating the market value. So what is the buyback price per share now? 25 plus 25%. 20% of 25 is coming to 30 rupees. And now here, unlike the previous problem which we have worked out, in previous problem, they themselves are given, they decide to go for 25,000. Just we worked out whether 25,000 shares can be purchased or not. So that we have compared, in fact, the 25,000 equity shares was less than maximum number of shares that can be purchased as per Companies Act. Now, in this case, it has not been given. So, definitely for this problem, I think we need to go for test 1, test 2, test 3 for determining how many shares has to be purchased. Is this clear? Then, you are also informed that Infrastructure Development Reserve is created to satisfy Income Tax Act requirements. So, therefore, we cannot treat this as a revenue reserve. You are required to compute the maximum number of shares that can be bought back in the light of the above information, and also under a situation where the loan funds of the company were either 1200 crores or 1500 crores. If you look at it, actually in the problem is given 1800 crores. So now you got the same problem. Everything is same. Only what he is saying, he is asking to work out the problem. If loan funds in situation 1 is 1200 crores and situation 2 1500 crores, and the problem, whatever the problem they are given situation is 1800 crores. I think the loan funds by 2 is important for debt equity ratio. The concept of the loan funds is important only for debt equity ratio, and I think basing upon that we should calculate the maximum number of shares that can be purchased. Assuming that the entire buyback is complete by 9th December 2011, show the accounting entries and company's books of each situation. An important point is you can see considering the large surplus funds available at the disposal of the company. I told you in the previous problem also, whenever you are having this equity shares considering the large surplus funds means they are not going for fresh issue. When they are not going for fresh issue, when they are not going for fresh issue, please remember, I think we need to go for when you're calculating debt equity ratio, we need to find out the unknown value amount to be transferred to CRR. Is this clear? So we see this now. Actually, I've started with the solution here. Statement determining the maximum number of shares to be bought back. When loan fund is 1800 crores, this has been given situation in the problem. This can be taken situation to 1200 crores. If it is 1200 crores, what is the maximum number of shares to be bought in? 1500 crores. I think it's not clearly visible. It is 1500 crores, my dear friends. Okay, this is 1800 crores, this is 1200 crores, this is 1500 crores. Now let me apply shares outstanding test. Shares outstanding test, we'll be working out that. Resource test, debt equity ratio test. I think these three informations we can get from working notes. Maximum number of shares that can be purchased is the list of the follow. Here debt equity ratio test is nil. So I think maximum number of shares that can be bought back is least of the above. I think we need to have result of three tests. If three test result is not possible, I think please remember maximum number of shares that can be bought back will not be considered. Okay. So I think I'll explain why it is nil, why it is nil, why it is nil, why it is nil. I'll explain that. So what I do before I go to the entries, let me take you to working notes. So shares outstanding test. So I think you all are aware 25% of shares outstanding. In the problem 330 crores has been given. To find out the number of shares 330 crores by 10, 33 shares in crores. 25% of shares outstanding is equal to 33 into 25% is coming to 8.25. Is this clear? I think this is simple. We have seen learned in the previous one. Next, resource test let us take. Paid up capital in crores is 330. Okay. Paid up capital in crores is 330. Free reserves, I told you, infrastructure reserve will not be taken. General reserve 240, security premium 90, P&L account 90 is coming to 420. So shareholders funds is 750 crores. And second test, resource test, by this time, I think you are familiar with this. 25% of shareholders funds is coming to 187.5 crores. 750 crores into 25%, right? These two are clear. So buyback price per share. Buyback price per share is equal to, this is 187.5 crores. I have to convert, I'm 25% of shareholders fund, 187.5 crores shares. Okay. Sorry, 187.5 crores rupees. Now I have to find out the number of shares that can be bought back under resource test. 187.5 crores by buyback price. I've already told you buyback price is equal to 25 plus 25 rupees plus 25 into 20%. Am I right? This I've explained already. Market value into 20%. Previous problem, face value into, on face value 10 rupees is the premium. Here in this case, market value 25 20%. So 25 plus 25. So it is this 187.5 crores is in rupees. I have to convert into number of shares. It is coming to 6.25 crores. So I think the first condition, second condition is same for different situations. Please try to understand what is different situations. 1800 crores, 1500 crores and 1200 crores. 1800 crores, 1200 crores and 1500 crores. Result 1 will be the same. Test number 1 result will be the same. What is test 1 result? Tell me. 8.25 crores. What is test number 2 result? It is 6.25 crores. Up to this clear to all of you? Right. Let us see now. This is important. Debt equity ratio test. Here, this debt equity ratio test, what I am doing, I am trying to follow, explain you second alternative. Actually, illustration is there in your material, study material. There they have followed simultaneous equation. So, to make you familiar, I'm following second alternative, because first alternative, if you want, the way we have done in the previous case, the same thing can be followed. Or if you got doubt, you can refer to the study material. You can see the solution. So the second alternative, where I got three situations here. 1800 crores if loan funds, 1200 crores, 1500 crores. So what is the first point I need for this? Amount of loan funds. Very clear. 1800 crores, 1200 crores, 1500. Minimum equity to be maintained, half of the loan funds. Minimum equity to be maintained is half of loan funds. What is loan fund? 1800 by half, 900. 1800 by half, here I have written A by 2. 1800 by 2, 900. 1200 by 2, 600. 1500 by 2, it is coming to 750. Next, proposed present equity shareholders funds. We have done here, you can see what is shareholders funds? 750 crores. So present equity shareholders fund 750 crores. Up to this clear? Now maximum permitted dilution is the difference between C and B. C 750. Minimum equity be maintained. Okay. 750, and when you are getting negative value, that means present equity shareholder funds are less than minimum equity. So maximum permitted dilution is not applicable. When it can be applicable? And minimum equity is less than present equity shareholders funds. I think that you can see here. Present equity shareholders funds is more than minimum equity. So that is why what we have done, we are getting positive value. So if you are getting negative, negative means when present equity shareholders funds is less than minimum equity to be maintained, I think the maximum permit dilution is not applicable. Here also not applicable, because why it is not applicable? Present equity shareholder fund 750, minimum equity is also 750. That means when it is either equal or less than minimum equity, maximum permitted dilution is not applicable. But here, since present equity shareholders fund is more than minimum equity, I think we got surplus of 150. So maximum permitted dilution is applicable. So suppose the number of shares bought back is X. It's just like previous model. Reduction in share capital is 10x. Premium on loss, I have told you already, 20. Transfer to CRR is equal to face value per share. So total reduction in equity is 40x. Therefore, value of X is equal to 150 by 40. You are getting 3.75 crore shares. Right. Now, I think we have to go for statement showing. Statement showing, it is there in the top. It is there in the top. Share outstanding test 8.25, 6.25. Here it is nil. I have already explained the reason. Note also has been given. 8.25, 6.25, 3.75. Just now we got from working notes number 3. This 3.75 also you can find out using simultaneous equation method. So therefore, least of the following three is how much? 3.75. Okay. Now, you can go for journal entries. Equity share buyback account at R2 Bank, being buyback of 3.75 crores. Equity shares of 10 each at 30 rupees per share. So you are paying a premium of 20 rupees, 3.75 crores into 20 rupees, 75, 3.75 into 10, 37.5, to equity share buyback 112.5. Now third entry is general reserve to CRR. General reserve to CRR is maximum number of shares permitted to be purchased, 3.75 crores. 3.75 crores into 10 rupees is how much? 37.5. Is this clear? Maximum number of shares purchased. Don't confuse yourself. Last problem, even the maximum number of shares purchased is more than 25,000 shares, the company which has already decided, we are transferring 25,000 towards CRR. Now, in this case, we don't have such condition. So, maximum shares that can be purchased is 3.75. 3.75 crores into 10 rupees is equal to 37.5 crores. Okay, that is what the entries he was asking. So this is, I've explained you. If you want this data equity ratio test, you can try by using which method, my dear friends? Simultaneous equation method you can follow. Now here I've explained the note for this. For situation 1 and 3, for situation 1, present equity share fund is less than minimum equity, and in situation 3 is equal to minimum equity. Therefore, maximum permit dilution is not applicable for situation 1 is negative, and third it is equal. I told you whenever you are getting negative or equal, maximum number of shares can't be applicable for situation 1 and 3. I told you alternately you can follow which method? Simultaneous equation method also can be followed like previous problem. Okay. If you want, you can copy down this quickly. Actually, this working notes, the solution I worked out is 3.75, etc. You can get through working notes. Either you can start the problem with working notes or you can do the working notes later on, right? You can copy down this. What is the difference between this problem and the previous one? This problem, loan funds, three different situations has been given. Previous problem, so entries we have written based on situation 2 because maximum number of shares that can be bought back. If here also maximum number of shares that can be bought back is nil, I think we can't write any entry. Okay, is this clear? We are writing only entries since situation 2 is through situation 2 only we are able to buy shares for bought back, buyback of shares. So that is why we are not writing any entry, no need to write any entries for situation 1 and 2. Okay, is this clear? And then one more point I told you there, even though we went for debt equity ratio, there already 25,000 shares has been given. Here it's not given, so directly we are taking 3.75 crores for maximum number of shares that can be bought back, and we have written entries accordingly. Okay, you can copy it. Here it is 1500 crores. It is 1500 crores. This is shares. The above is crores. Here again applicable only when loan fund is 1200 crores. Entries are only for 1200 crores. told you already, debt equity ratio test you can use by following simultaneous equation method also. Whichever is convenient, you can follow. Okay. But you need a bit of practice, my dear friends. Today's these two problems you have to work out. These two are important models. Please practice. If you practice, then only you can score. Remembering the things are very key to you for your success. Why that not applicable I've given here, star mark. This is like tutorial note. For situation 1, present equity scheduled fund is less than minimum equity. In less than minimum equity, we are getting negative. And situation 3 is equal to minimum equity. So therefore maximum permanent dilution is not applicable for situation 1 is negative, and situation 3 is it is equal. Hence maximum number of shares can't be applicable for situation 1 and 3. Okay. Okay, friends, then we'll meet in the next class. We work out few more problems. So I think this I have just simply given alternate simultaneous equation method can be followed like previous problem. I hope you are following this. Okay, thank you. We'll meet in the next class. Right. With this, we have come to lecture 3 on buyback of shares. Thank you very much. God bless you all.